yours. Go. Yeah, I was building on the lecture. Verses coming daily under pressure. Working on the plot and the scheme. The true style trademark is at the edge of your dreams. I'm talking one shot for the kill. The breeze come freeze up. Straight dropping the chills. I'm talking taking over pieces and shares. A ball break sky high. Check the movement is here. Yeah. It's one heart, one shot. Now the future is yours. Go. Turning dreams into reality. In the lab with the formula and chemistry. Your memories spark and motivate and make the industry shake. We put the bars in the brakes. I'm talking one chance at best, yes. Painting pictures for the culture, keep the brushes fresh. Flip the cover, work the drummer, passion never rests. Freedom is our teacher under pressure, now we blessed. See, I was so good for the goal. It's one art, one shot, now the future is yours. Go! Yeah. It's one art, one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
Two cutters through the middle. Adia for three.
Kia ora te iwi, no mai hoki mai. Welcome to Rugby Park, Whakatane. The time is here, it's finals time at the Whakatane January Touch Tournament 2024. The first fixture on the 2024 calendar for the new year. Happy New Year to all of you joining us. Look at the scenes over Whakatane and what's in front of us. I'm Brad Pittman, joined in commentary by Tiv Guthrie. And Tiv, what a game we've got set up shortly. The 35 plus Old Boys final, our first final of the day between Galaxy and AZ1 in the Old Boys division. What a game.
Yeah, well, we've got some absolute legends of the game in this fixture. If you're looking at the AZ1 team, you've got some players that we've seen throughout the course of the 2023-2024 season already, the likes of Brendan Hikaka, Quentin Gardner, Tapini Mika, and then you've got Zane Welsh, who's an ex-New Zealand senior mixed representative as well. But then, you know, with no disrespect to AZ1, you go across to the Galaxy side and they've got the likes of George Yonke, former New Zealand touch black himself, Stefan Tiamo, and you see Peter Walters in the box there. So, you know, while this may be 35s, there's still some big names on display.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And you talk about some of those names. none more so than Peter Walters, who will start off the bench for Galaxy. But that's
because they're on defense, Brad.
Yeah, I thought they were actually up on halfway, but they've switched sides, so you're right. He'll come on when ball's in their hands, I'm sure. But one of the absolute legends of New Zealand touch and founders of the Galaxy brand and outfit out here strutting his stuff in the Old Boys final. I'm looking forward to this one between these two teams here. 15-minute halves now in our playoffs and finals. And our first of 3 finals will be bringing you this 35 Old Boys, then of course the Open Women's Final, followed by the Open Men's Final. We're underway here as one with first use of it. And there is Zane Walsh there, just playing the middles at the moment for AZ1. Throws the longie. Oh, and just like that.
Yeah, what a start there for AZ1. They worked the ball through the middle of the field through Zane Welsh, and then the long ball came out to the left-hand side. He got involved in the play as well, play again, sorry. And I suppose it's just that two-touch mentality, just wanting to get your hands on the football for more than once in any given touch, and then he evades the defender. The long ball goes out to the left-hand side, and AZ1 in their first set of the game, they managed to cross.
Yeah, impressive start there by AZ1. And now Galaxy into things here, and as we mentioned, there he is on screen, the legend in the number 1 jersey. Who else but number 1 for Galaxy? Peter Walters there, he'll show a little bit of magic. Shorty, good touch there by AZ1, and it was the 5th as well.
Yeah, and he'll probably work a lot with Dave Edmonds in the middle of the field. Dave Edmonds, no slouch himself, so plenty of strike power for this Galaxy outfit, as we see also Johnny Blaze in the white cap, number 11, just forcing the error for AZ1. He's a former New Zealand, or sorry, I should say, current New Zealand representative in the Masters grade, so plenty on display here for Galaxy.
Yeah, and it's our first look at the Old Boys division. Of course, most of their games through the early parts of today being played over in the backfields. And so what will be interesting is the field's slightly bigger out here on the main stage. And they've been at it all day in the sun. It'll be good to see what's left in the tank from these two Old Boys sides. Great scoop there. Galaxy press in the middle.
Yeah, and if you're, sorry, Brad, if you're watching and you've been a fan of touch since the sort of 90s, there'll be plenty of names that'll be familiar to you. And I'm excited to see Stefan Tiamo for Galaxy. Haven't seen him around the touch scene in a while, so it's awesome to see him back playing at the Whakatane tournament and back for Galaxy as Zane Welsh looks to drive forward, pops the ball over the top. Working in tandem there with Matthew Hodson. And that is the 6th touch hand over there.
Yeah, that's Tiamo there with the sideways backwards cap at the moment. White one for Galaxy. Just rolling himself off and unforced there. AZ1, big opportunity to double up here. Well inside the attacking half.
And it'll be interesting to see the sort of tactics that come into play as you get older and the body starts to go, that's when the mind starts to grow. So, when you talk about the Old Boys grade, while the bodies might not be there physically, the minds are there and they're sharp. As we see a scoot to the short side. I think that was Hodson there. Came on the rooster play, stepped off the right foot, went to the short side and got on the outside to get over. And AZ1 scored their second. They take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and tidy finish there. Matthew Hodson just showed a little bit of toe to get through the gap there, doubling up for AZ1. And Galaxy now, they're going to need to fight back here in this Old Boys 35 final. We're only under 4 minutes into this first half, so plenty of time for both sides to show what they've got. Here we go. Let's see some of the magician.
Just ambles up towards the 7-metre line, lobs the ball over the top. Great defense there, though, from AZ1.
Yeah, good discipline from the wing there, just not to bite in on that overs ball. Excellent touch there. I think it was Kyron Marshall here for AZ1.
And when it comes to finals footy, you've got to lose some skin for the boys at times, and they showed it on that occasion, the diving touch. And it had to be made because Edmonds was through the gap. But now AZ1 copping a slightly heavy touch there. They'll look to drive forward.
Yeah, and the questions flooding through on the YouTube, Tiv, is when's your playing up? Old boys team getting out here for the Whakatane touch tournament. Hey?
Oh, I suppose when we all turn 35, we're all, I don't know if we're at 35 yet, but we feel that old. We're 35 in touch years, that's for sure. But in terms of 35, according to my birth certificate, I'm not quite there yet. So still a couple of years, Brad. I'm sure that'll go out as a call to all the old boys to get involved. But only a couple of us have reached that age yet.
I'll be in full force soon, I'm sure. The purple strip on the old boys fields. Here comes a little strip of numbers. I think going to be called back.
George Yonke still looking like a spring chicken out there. He went into drive in that strike dump, and then he thought he could kick away, but managed to catch a bit of his clothing there, I think, was the AZ1 defender, and lucky he did, because George Yonke was threatening on that right-hand side.
Yeah, I was about to say, some of these guys out here, after a long day of touch, they're going to be 34 3/4 at best. I don't know how they qualify for this division. Still looking incredibly sharp here.
Yeah, Welsh just holding up play, and he's this little duo here, this little combination between Welsh and Hodson, it's proved fruitful.
A little skip there through the overs ball from Hodson. Did he get it down?
I think he was out, was the call there from our sideline referees there.
Yeah, he threw it back like he liked it. And not for TikTok. That was for the tap off.
And as I was just mentioning, that combination there between Matthew Hodson and Zane Welsh, looks like they're placing their eggs in that basket.
Yeah.
The AZ1 crew, and why wouldn't they? You know,
Yeah.
Hodson just skipped through the long ball, and in fact it wasn't out, it was dead over the dead ball line.
Right.
So the finish wasn't quite there.
Ran out of space on the big fields there, but you're right, that two-man middles game at the moment for AZ1 looking deadly.
And just losing their way a little bit, I think, Galaxy. They could do with some direction. And the ball goes out to the left-hand side. Don't know whether they've got a couple touches up their sleeve. That was touch 4.
Yeah, just looking a little disjointed here at the moment, Galaxy. Under a bit of pressure.
They might make it work anyway. There's
Yeah,
a bit of purchase down the left-hand side.
It's a bit of old school throw it around footy out there down that left flank. Didn't come off for them. And now they're going to be asked to defend. AZ1 just working through their transition.
And the quality's still there. There haven't been many, if any, errors, whether unforced or not, but the quality is still there at the end of a long day for this 35 old boys grade.
Yeah, and the famous words of our favourite Crusader scribe from Canterbury. That one's going to be put down there. Excellent effort out there by the two commentators. Now back on the field at the moment, it's Galaxy with the ball. They're working up towards the halfway mark. Under a lot of pressure from this AZ1 defence, but they'll get a reliever there. The penalty coming.
Yeah, and I think in order to keep a handle on this game, the referees, they kind of have to pull some of those penalties up in order to open up the space between the two sides. You were mentioning that AZ1 were really pressing up in defence, but a little bit smothering. So if you want to keep the space between the two teams, you've got to call those penalties early and really set the standard. Otherwise, the standard sort of drops as the game progresses.
Yeah, and it's been fantastic to see all of our referees across the tournament be on their P's and Q's, pretty good in quality, and just making sure the game can flow both sides here. And special shout out to today's referees in this men's old boys final: Moana Edwards, Sonia Wirihana Tauke, and Calvin Wirihana Tauke. Excellent honour to be out here in a final, so hats off to them and all of our referees across the weekend. And here's a good little sneak out of dummy half here. AZ1 just eating up the yards on offer. Here we go. Yeah, back door's on. Oh, he's juggled it. He's put it down in the end.
I'll tell you what, put him in the circus. That was a clown-like effort juggling in the corner there, but it was a beautiful play from AZ1. They really set it up nicely, and they ran that passive play, got the mismatch on the outside. The draw and pass came, and the winger did well to not only juggle, but also keep his feet inside the line as well, because it was looking like a pretty close run thing there, Brad.
Yeah, that backdoor from line from Rawiri and the finisher pass as well. Pretty special in the end, and you're right, both feet and hands working on overtime there to finish that one. AZ1 go ahead 3-0 in our Old Boys 35s final.
And I think the other thing about this this Galaxy outfit and just this grade in general is that they probably won't panic. They know that it's now a 30-minute game with 15-minute halves. So even though they're down 3-0, 10 minutes gone in the first half, there won't be any panic. As we see a relieving penalty for the Galaxy, they'll get a repeat set on the line, and Walters will look to work his magic with Edmonds in the middle.
Yeah, and hopefully this Old Boys 35 Galaxy team might take a little bit of inspiration from their open men who fought back from being down 2-0 early in their pool match out here on the main field. See shades of it, and there perhaps the start of things for Galaxy. They put their first one in with a little under 5 minutes remaining in this first half. And like you said, off the back of a penalty, allow them to set a platform and have a good attacking crack at it. They score their first.
Yeah, definitely. And as we see on the One Foundation replay in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, Whānau, Peter Walters just pulling the strings and just really getting the AZ1 defenders to do what he wanted, basically, and just drew them a little bit further out of their zone. And then it was a simple pass in the end, but a beautiful line there from Jonathan Mason, Johnny Blaze, as he's informally known as, shall we say. And now AZ1 looking to run a sweep plate, steps off the right foot, looks to go through the middle there, was Quentin Gardner.
It was a similar setup to their last try too, just this setup on the left side. They didn't go for it that time.
Good
Sweeping.
shape on the outside.
Yeah. Good slide and defense there from Galaxy. Way to stay numbered up, and the extra penalty as well for not giving the ball back.
Yeah, probably a theme that's sort of emerged over the last couple of games, isn't it, Brad? As the stakes start to go up and the intensity and the drama start to go up, the discipline from all teams that head into knockout football becomes paramount. And on that occasion, AZ1 not giving the ball back as quickly as they should, according to the referee. So now Galaxy, with a couple more touches up their sleeve, ball comes to Te Amo. Yonke working on the ball. A little bit static here as we see a little bit of footwork.
Yeah.
He gets on the outside and he'll go through as well.
Skipping away there.
That was beautiful from Shannon Huggins. And there was nothing really doing on that one, Brad.
No, they'd run into a 2-2 down the side and not a lot going, but the fancy footwork and speed kills in the end, just like it did last night in the drop-offs. Watch it here on the One Foundation replay. You said not a lot doing until that little stutter step there, and it's all gas, no brakes from there.
Yeah, Huggins just got that one-on-one with Gardner and then skipped to the outside and pegged the deficit back to 1. It is 3-2 at the moment, and welcome try there for Galaxy. But now AZ1 on the 7-metre line, they'll look to strike back. Galaxy will want to be on their toes here. They don't want to give away another easy try and nullify that one that they've just scored. Yeah,
and they've done so well in these last 3 or 4 minutes to get back to, just the 1 try deficit. But there, AZ1 strike back, just like that, 4-2. They restore the 2-point advantage. And excellent execution in the end there. The individual brilliance on show.
Yeah, Brendan Hikaka here in number 6 for AZ1. In the Masters grades, he's had a pretty strong start to the season as well. He's a slippery customer, as we see there. Just managed to evade the diving touch there from John Hood, and then put the ball down as cool as you like, cool as a cucumber, one-handed. And they extend the lead back out to 2. Walters looking to get on the outside. And nothing coming for him.
And they'll just get a set here, just outside the 7. Peter Walters on the ball. Or can he orchestrate? Pretty heavy-handed touch. And fifth and final now. Trying to weave some magic. That one's not going to come off for them. Galaxy, probably one last set for AZ1 in this first half. They're up 4-2 at the moment and pretty happy with things, the AZ1 crew.
Yeah, and Matthew Hodson looking to get around the outside. I tell you what, he really stepped up on that set of 6 on defense for AZ1. Looked Peter Walters in the eye and didn't take a backward step. So AZ1 with a couple more touches up their sleeve and a couple of seconds before the half. They'll be looking to move the ball forward. There's a hooter in the background, a show on the outside. Easily defended. And AZ1 will take a 2-try lead into the break.
Yeah, first 15 is in the books of our Old Boys 35 final. And despite a good showing in response through the middle part of that half, AZ1, as you mentioned, will go into the half with the 2-point advantage. They've been the better of the first half, Tiv. An impressive start to finish. But there's a fair bit of life in that Galaxy side, and they can score when they get things rolling. That's
it, and I mentioned earlier, throughout the middle period of that first half, they won't be flustered. They're only down by 2, and as they showed throughout the middle period of that first half, they can score them in bunches. Just comes down to a little bit of execution, but they're patient, and they'll bide their time. 15 minutes, and I suppose all the pressure would be on them to pick back that 2-try deficit.
Yeah, that's it. And for these Old Boys teams have been battling away in the heat down in the backfields. They've got 15 minutes left to prove why they deserve to go home as Whakatane champions for 2024. Awesome view there into the AZ1 team huddle at the moment. And of course, this weekend wouldn't be without some fantastic sponsors and supporters of the event. A special thank you, of course, to One Foundation, the Whakatane District Council, and Whakatane Ohope Community Board, our major sponsors for this weekend and for Whakatane Touch Association and putting this tournament on. They're, of course, supported by Ake Chartered Accountants and Business Advisors, BTS, Better Together Sportswear, Iceman Whakatane, Underwood and Wilkins, and Whakatane High School. And Tiv, what an awesome weekend it has been. The drop-offs last night were excellent. It's been fantastic weather out here. Fingers crossed it stays for our final 2.5 games here. But what a weekend at Whakatane.
Exactly, and it always is, Brad. You know, this is the 36th annual Whakatane Touch Tournament. Been going since 1986, and you know, there's a bit of a I'm not quite sure about the word, but I suppose there's a bit of charm about the Whakatane tournament. A lot of players around the motu, they hold it in high regard, and there is that element of prestige when it comes to winning a Whakatane Touch title. And speaking of winning that title, it comes down to Galaxy and AZ1 in the Old Boys 35s final, as Galaxy gets first use of the football in the second half.
Yeah, and running right to left on your screen now in the black, of course, Galaxy. Two tries behind AZ1 at the moment, 15 minutes to play. And
yeah, Walters, he's been looking for that quickie play, and he found a little bit of purchase in the first half. AZ1 in that halftime huddle, they probably would have mentioned something along the lines of making sure that they're on their toes when Peter Walters is on the ball, and then just continuing what they've been doing when it comes to transition and attack, because they've definitely had the upper hand.
Yeah, absolutely. And they'll be pleased with their first half, but man, they've got to shut out these opportunities from Galaxy. This one going forward here for AZ1. They're going to go back for the touch.
I was wondering if they were appealing for a touch and pass there. As Gardner, beautiful change of pace. And he really injected himself into the play there, did Quentin Gardner. Just came off the right foot, and then the late switch back on the inside. But a little bit too far out for it to be anything threatening.
Yeah, that's it, and that's what we've spoken about at length through the commentary this weekend, is being able to win that orange zone so that you can set up a genuine strike rather than one from 20 metres away. Just a little bit too far out that time, AZ1. And it's probably even more important in these Old Boys 35 grades, where it's probably a little harder for them to make those yards. So when they do, man, it becomes important.
Yeah, I was just about to say you might want to watch out for the The quick feet there of George Yonke and a little bit of a tiff in the in-goal area. Yonke came through on the scoop, stepped to the outside, got on the outside, and they've made up at least. Yonke and Gardner. There was a bit of holding, I think, and now referee calling for the ball. I think the penalty is going to be a penalty try by the look of it. And it's a bit of a tricky one when you're judging for a penalty try, the holding. You have to, I suppose, act as though the infringement wasn't there, and would they have scored? And in that case, with no other defenders around him other than the infringing player, the refs have adjudicated that, yes, the try would have been scored, and so Galaxy, they peg one there.
Yeah, perhaps not how they expected to get their third try, but it will go onto the scoreboard no less. Just a little bit of foul play there, holding off the ball from the AZ1 defender. They shook hands after it, so it's, that
makes it okay.
Under the bridge now, apparently, but it is on the scoreboard, and it has tightened things up, certainly here in this Old Boys 35s final.
And the good thing as well is that they haven't lost the player due to that infringement, have AZ1, but the long ball goes out. They look to get back to that 2-try lead. But well defended there from Galaxy as AZ1 move the ball back to the middle of the field.
Low dive.
Yeah, great touch there from John Hood. He stepped up off the line, and that meant that when the dive came, he had to dive through the defender as opposed to being on the try line and it being a 50-50 call whether the ball was down or not. So great defense there from Galaxy and from John Hood in particular as they now look to move the ball up to halfway, making hard work of it though.
Yeah, and I think that that's something that you've mentioned a couple of times, is just how to defend that low dive. A lot of people thinking, well, if you set and be low on the line, it might be easier for them, but you've actually got to get up and create an avenue for that player to have to dive through you, make the touch a little bit easier. So
I think it just removes it beyond all doubt if you're the defender. You know, if you step up and make that touch 2 meters off the line, then the referee knows for sure that, yeah, well, he must have been touched on the way through. Whereas if you're on the line, there's always that doubt in the back of the referee's mind, then it becomes a 50-50.
Yeah, and those sort of things, as we teach some of the younger players, these guys out here, they all know that stuff. They've been doing it for years, and you see the discipline in those sort of execution areas from these Old Boys players.
And just another thing like that as well, as Yera comes from AZ1, there's some, tell you what, throughout the course of this game, there's been some big, strong touches going both ways. There's definitely no love lost between these two teams. And now Galaxy moving across the halfway line, that's better. You expect nothing less from George Yonke. He's always head down, tail up, happy to do the yards. As Hood goes for a darting run, looked for the late cut from George Yonke. He committed the attackers, but I think probably just not quite there.
Yeah, they almost got a little bit too far ahead of the support there. Unfortunate for Galaxy because there were yards through the ruck there. AZ1 now through their exit and transition. I'll roll the subs on. A little bit stale there on it. Walsh back. You'll get them rolling. He's on the outside. The diving touch is made.
John Hood again.
Oh, he's being special in defence. John Hood making all the right decisions in defence.
And we said as well, didn't we, Brad, about losing some skin for the boys, especially when it comes to knockout footy. And John Hood made an impressive touch there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Regardless of the result of this game, I'm sure Whakatane Town's going to go off tonight with the Old Boys celebrating. I'm sure the local hotel will be the point of sale come 9 o'clock tonight.
Lock the town down, I think.
It's it. The Whakatane RSA is going off.
Oh, beautiful play there. Welsh and Hodson. We talked about them in the first half. That combination, it was a beautiful setup. Welsh just picking his moment, making the touch, getting the crossover quickie, that open side quickie. And because the defender who made the touch was in a cornering profile, that opened up the gap between the two middles once Welsh went the other way. As you see on the One Foundation replay, made the touch, got the open side quickie, sent the save side defender across, and that opened up the avenue for Matthew Hodson, I should say, not Mark, Matthew Hodson to dive over.
Yeah, and Zane Welsh with his hands all over it. Bit of an unassuming looking character Zane Welsh, but you talk about his open mix pedigree on the international stage out here for AZ1. Looking a bit like Forrest Gump after he'd finished running, Zane Welsh.
Yeah, that's better defence there from AZ1. They know that Pete Walters and Dave Edmonds, they've run a few late switches. So they really pushed high on that open side, that safe side defence on that static fifth and final plate, and managed to not even give Peter Walters any room. So great defence here from AZ1. They probably played a little bit better together as a team, I would say, and that's probably the difference between the two teams at the moment. As they look to run, they got the Galaxy side on the back foot, just running out of space. And a strong touch there from Walters gives away the penalty.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker there for Galaxy. They defended the transition fairly well. Well, AZ1 had got a bit of a roll on, but they'd shut that defence on their defensive right side. So a full set here is going to hurt for Galaxy.
Yeah, coach killer, because it was on the last as well. So
yep.
Brendan Hikaka, B-man, number 6 with the ball there for AZ1. As I mentioned, slippery customer. He's been a little bit quiet in this game, taking a back seat to Welsh and Hodson. And as we mentioned on the broadcast earlier with Peter McIntyre, you've got to feed the hot hand. So ball goes out to the right-hand side and a bit of a letdown towards the back end of that set.
Yeah, they had a few bites at it, just nothing really to trouble Galaxy too much. Well scrambled in the end by the Galaxy defenders. And now just a little bit clunky in that transition again. We've spoke of their struggles through that transition area. And perhaps we'd like to see these refs just open up that space a little bit more. AZ1 being allowed to stay in there.
Yeah, that's probably about as good a finish as they could have hoped for on that set, Galaxy. They were a little bit, the pace was probably a little bit too slow coming from the 7-metre line and just ambling through the field. And then a power scoop from John Hood on the back end of that set. Yeah, probably about the best that they could hope for. So they want to clean that yardage up at the moment. AZ1 definitely in charge and winning the orange zone.
Yeah, we count into the final 6 minutes here of this Old Boys 35s final. It's AZ1 with the 2-try lead at the moment. And Galaxy, they're going to have to turn them away a couple of times and score at the other end here. If they're to get back into this one.
Yeah, still 2 tries left in it. And while it's not sort of out of reach by any stretch of the imagination, it is difficult when you're playing off the back foot. So Galaxy will want to find the front foot as quickly as they can, because as time ticks down, that 2-try deficit starts to become a bit of a factor. Yeah,
that's it. That's the scoreboard pressure, and that's what makes a final. And some of these players on both sides will understand what it takes to either hold a lead or try and regain some ascendancy. These players have all been through these sort of trials and tribulations before on both sides of it.
There's Te Amo called offside there. And now AZ1 looking to shift the ball forward. They're, by the look of it, happy to hold this 2-try lead. Te Amo tries to put a little bit of pressure on to try and salvage something. Huggins comes in with the heavy-handed touch.
You love to see that. That's an Old Boys final written all over it. They'll say it's momentum. Couldn't slow down, couldn't stop.
Of course it's momentum.
Still going here, AZ1. Lovely hands. The tip on has gone forward.
Now Galaxy looking to move the ball forward. This is probably a little bit better from them, shifting the ball forward. They just need some soldiers to take them forward, because they're all subbing at the moment. As we mentioned, it is the end of a very long day here at the Whakatane Touch Tournament. Walters on the ball, gets the show on the outside, and back to 1 is the call. Jamie Rayner got his big mitts in there to shut the play down.
Yeah, final 4 minutes here for both these two teams to end their Whakatane campaign on a high. It's looking more and more likely that AZ1 will get there. But don't rule this Galaxy side out from some late heroics, especially if that man has anything to do with it.
Yeah, just pulling the defense out as Edmonds looks to scoop to the short side. Doesn't quite have the pace, though, to get on the outside. And it was an easy touch in the end there from Lee Pena. And yeah, just the opportunities that are on, they're shrinking by the second for Galaxy.
Yeah, that's it. And AZ1 will know that they'll be happy to wear this clock out for as long as they can in this set here. They know that they're in control of things as long as they can complete. And good execution there too. They're going to go over and they're going to wrap up the old boys final in style. That one will likely be enough now. They push out to 6-3 here with under 3 minutes to play. Tiv just too good in the end, AZ1.
And I think it came from that drive there, that one that you just saw on screen from Quentin Gardner, and then the follow-up one as well from Daryl Thomas. Those two drives really got them that front foot and got them going forward, got that momentum for them. And then when the pass went, it was a Galaxy outfit in 6s and 7s. So a couple of minutes left, 2.5 to go on the clock. 6-3. Wood, he's tried hard all game. Looks to dive over. But referee adjudicates that the touch was made.
Yeah, Galaxy here just in the middles, trying to make something, finish this game on a high, finish their campaign. Big touch call there on the dive.
And just finding no holes in this AZ1 defense in this second half. And they'll die with the football. So AZ1, as you mentioned, probably have one hand firmly on that Whakatane title. And as the seconds tick down, they'll slowly grab the title with that other hand, finger by finger, as they move forward through the field. And this is really where it's been won and lost, in my opinion, as Welsh races away. Yeah, Galaxy defense just held off and he just strolled through.
Yeah, and he's been the orchestrator of a lot of their attack, Zane Welsh. You see him finish one there, but his work in the middle of the field has been awesome for AZ1. He and Hodson together. He probably deserves one in the end here for AZ1.
Definitely a well-deserved one. They looked to run their little pop-out play, and then they caught Wood coming across, and it was just a little jink off the left foot from Welsh. And he streaked away to score 7 tries to 3. The score probably looking a little bit flattering for the AZ1 team now. I don't think Galaxy is 4 tries down, although they have managed to peg one back, salvage a little bit of pride. Johnny Blaze goes over.
The last 2-minute flurry here of the results probably in the book, so let's just throw a couple of passes to finish this one off. There it is. The hands go up for AZ1. And they are beyond happy to have picked up a Whakatane title here in 2024. AZ1 in the end, too good, 7-4 over Galaxy in our Old Boys 35 final, our first final of the afternoon. And Tiv, from start to finish, AZ1 the better side.
I think so, and they really showed it. They had the legs at the back end of the day. I think Galaxy probably feeling the effects of a long day, a long afternoon here at Rugby Park in Whakatane, and AZ1, they just had the legs and they probably were a little bit more cohesive. They worked quite well together as a unit, and in the end they scored 7 tries of their own while only letting in 3 up until that final second. So no easy feat up against a classy Galaxy outfit, but on this occasion, AZ1 being crowned Whakatane champions in the 35 Old Boys grade.
That's and well deserved in the end. You saw from the drone shot there, a solid crowd out too for our 35 Old Boys final. You love to see the support there from the teams. Of course, coming up next is our Open Women's final, and it's between Playing Up and Bullets. A huge Open Women's final. We saw the Bullets semi. We didn't see the Playing Up semi, but they got up over Pearl Jam. And of course that one coming up at about 5:30, that Open Women's final. We can't wait to see that one, Tiv. It's going to be an exciting game.
Yeah, replay of the 2022 final, so it should be a good one. It should be a humdinger of a match.
And our men's final coming up not long after that will be just after 6 o'clock between Wairere and Pearl Jam. So Pearl Jam, the winners of the semi-final we didn't see. Of course, Wairere getting up over Playing Up on the final we did see on our field. So that'll be another huge one, and I think a repeat as well from last year, Wairere versus Pearl Jam. So this time, not in the rain, fingers crossed. Last year it was a wet affair. Let's hope it's played on dry ground this time. Those will be our final 2 games of the live stream. This one here was the 35 Old Boys final, won of course by AZ1. Thank you for joining us on the live stream. We'll be back for the Open Women's final. I've been Brad Pittman, joined by Tiv Guthrie. We'll see you then.
Been too long, leaves are gone, heading for the coastline. Light is it when I'm there, soaking in the sunshine. We walk for miles covered in smiles just for a while, taking the time we press rewind out on the aisles. Eyes wide as the sea, feels like our city. We walk for miles counting the smiles just for a while, right out on the coastline.
If you can just introduce yourself and your role here at the Whakatane Touch Tournament.
Tēnā koutou katoa, Whakapene, I'm the assistant coach to the new club, Lax, out of South Auckland.
Awesome, awesome. Now, big tournament, obviously we haven't been here for the last couple of years, so awesome to see everybody back down here in Whakatane. What are you looking forward to most this weekend?
Oh, as you said, it's been a while, so it's good coming back and seeing a lot of the players that haven't been playing, coaches and managers. This is the best club touch tournament in the world. And we travel from all over the motu, so yeah, it's just good being back into the code, and the shootout's going pretty good, so, and hopefully the weather holds up.
Yeah, we've been lucky so far. It's grey, but we're dry at the moment. Now you mentioned new club out of South Auckland, Lax Touch. Awesome to have you guys here. What's the build-up been like for this weekend?
So this club is formed by the Pāmatatau whānau, Mama B and her 5 children. So the 3 sons get to play together, so it's a real whānau affair, and there's 5 young gentlemen flying up all the way from the big powerhouse in Otago. So the build-up's been mainly through sort of chat and texts and stuff, but now they got a little taste of it in the shootout, and they're pretty hungry just to get out there and have some fun tomorrow.
Awesome. So it is a big one tomorrow. Massive day. I think we've got 15 or 16 fields all running here at Whakatane. Awesome to have you guys here. We wish you all the best tomorrow, brother, with your team. Hope it goes awesome, and you guys have a great weekend here at Whakatane.
Tēnā koutou.
Been too long, leaves are gone, heading for the coastline. Light is it when I'm there, soaking in the sunshine. We walk for miles counting the smiles just for a while, right out on the coastline.